Looking for the best table saw for your DIY projects or on-site cutting? Then this is the video for you. Don't forget everything used in the video today. There are links in the description below for the best place to get those home and lifestyle products. Make sure you check those out at the end of this video. Hi Kirby fans, welcome back to the channel. So today's a little bit different. We're going to be checking out a table saw for those of you that are into DIY or working on site. This is probably the best table saw in my opinion you can buy for the money. So today we're going to be unboxing and taking a first look at the Dewalt DWE491-XE. Let's dive straight into it. So it's the DWE491-XE table saw. The box height is 14.1 inches high, 33.5 inches long, and 29.25 inches wide. The whole saw itself weighs 26.5 kilograms, which is 58.4 pounds. We've got all the measurements, so we've got a power source of 230 volt, got our blade size of 254 mil, we've got a blade arbor size of 16 mil, a power input of 2000 watt. Blade runs at 4,800 RPMs and a depth cut at 90 mil at 79 mil and a 45-degree cut at 57 mil. Included in the box, there should be a 24 tooth blade, mitre gauge, push stick, 2 blade wrenches, dust extraction adapter and an anti-kickback assembly. So one of the main features on this is comes with a rack and pinion fence, airlock compatible dust port, cast tabletop and a steel roll cage. So let's get this bad boy in box. So our accessories are boxed up. We've got our instruction manual, then we've got 2 boxes of accessories. It does come with anti-kickback attachment, which is secured here with a flat head or a hexagonal bolt, so we can remove that later. Underneath we've got material either side of this motor to keep all the dust coming through the extraction system as opposed to just blowing either side of the blade. We've got our locking attachment here for our rack and pinion. So let's flip this over and get this bad boy set up. So our fence is secured underneath at the moment by these lock-on levers. So you just flip that, support it, then go around to the other side, flip that side out, and now with both sides open, we should be able to load this off. The throat plate is easy to remove, just a twist. And out it comes. This gives you access to change the blade or clean any debris out that's been dropped down. Obviously make sure there's no power connected when you do that. So let's just get this blade raised and see how square she is from the factory. To install the throat assembly, we drop that back in and just twist that back to the lock position. On the rear of the machine, we've got our on off, and then we've got our off button, which can be activated with your knee when fitted to a table. That's a bit of a safety feature. We've also got a lock cover switch to stop that on button being pressed. This saw does flip over to 45 degrees, so you've got a lock attachment here. So to get it to 45, we just flip that over, push that over to your desired angle, and then lock it off. To bring it back, unlock it, and return it back to the 90-degree position. To raise the blade, we just wind it up clockwise. Our included push stick is situated in between the fence. So included in our kit, we've got our riving knife and blade guard, slider adjustable angled guide rail, 2 wrench spanners for changing or removing the blade, and then we've got our adapter for our extraction system, which fits in here so you can fit a normal vacuum attachment. Change the blade, we've got 1 open end spanner down here, just turn the blade slowly until it locates, and then just fit our ring end spanner on this side, anti-clockwise to loosen up. Once it's loosened, spin your knot, try not to drop it, hold the washer as you remove the blade, and then replace it with a finer blade if you want a finer cut. Because we're going to be using this for ripping, we're going to put this blade back on. Actually put it in the right way round, so cutting edge towards the winder adjustment, put your washer back on, and then tighten up our bolt. And we're just going to nip that up. Doesn't need to be over tightened, like most saw blades. Once it's tight, it's sort of self-tightening. So just push that clockwise and your rear spanner anti-clockwise. Now to remove the riving knife and replace it is pretty easy. Pull this lever back here, hold it, grab our riving knife and pull it up. And we're just going to fit our guard, so it's pretty simple. Hold the lever out again, drop our guard in, That's ready to rock and roll. Spare riving knife Just store it in the side, pull that pin out, and that locks in place. Our cross-cutting fence slides in like so. Want to adjust the degrees. If you're cutting some 2B1 on 45, we can flip that around to 45, and the maximum we can go is 30 degrees. And all we do is tighten that up in position, and we're ready to snip off. Now I've noticed with this fence as well, there is a little bit of wobble in it, so I'm not sure how accurate that will be. I'll find that out when I get this up and running in a follow-up video. Fence works on a rack and pinion. At the moment that's locked in position. So to move that for fine adjustment, we pull up our lock lever on the side of the saw. Now our fence should move freely, and for fine adjustment, use the rack and pinion. Because this is for the European market, Dewalt have done the measurements just in millimeters, so there's no inches on there. In the US, you should have imperial measurements. When using the fence on its 5/3, if you're cutting materials and you're worried about it dropping down, you have got a support rail which lifts up and drops down, and that will stop your work pieces dropping down as you slide them along. With our fence, there are two positions on the right hand side. So when fitting our fence, hook it underneath, front and rear, put it on and lock it in place. This is the internal measurement. Blade distances are done by the internal measurement. When cutting extra wide pieces, we'll go to the outside measurement. We flip that up, lift that off, and then slot it on the outside fitting, like so. Lock both levers into position, and then we use our external measurements for accuracy. Now this will go all the way to 830mm wide, but for demonstration purposes, we've got a support plate here which flips out, drops down, and then we haven't got to worry about our workpiece when we're pushing down to chop it off. So we've got a maximum custom height of 81mm, or just under 3¼ inches. Our blade is pretty true from the factory. So that's set at 90 degrees, that's pretty true. So we'll try on the 45. And what I like about Dewalt is if you ever get the gauge knocked out, just like drop saws, you've got an adjustment here to set it back to 0. You can square your blade up and then set this adjustment here back to 0. So let's try the 45. And that's pretty accurate. Don't forget, if you're using the video today, there are links in the description below for the best place to get those household and DIY products. Make sure you check those out at the end of this video. So the Dewalt DWE491-XE, was it worth the investment? I think it was. I think it's a great table saw. It's great for ripping down timbers because you've got a decent height. You've also got the extension on the table. You can do a lot wider cuts of panels, and then you've got the extra part on the fence so you can flip it out so there's no way of that panel tipping. Great investment, really well worth checking out. So if you want to check it out, there'll be a link in the description. So I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.